So it is my last day on the property here in Hilo, but before I go, I wanted to show you guys their garden operation that they have here on the property. So we're gonna go find Ben and he's gonna show us around. Now, I'm not too sure where Ben is at, because I'm a little early, but I do notice that they've got some taro over there, which he's gonna show us. Now, when I was in college over on Oahu, for a class, they took us over to the Manoa campus where they had wet taro farms, like taro fields. I don't know if you call them fields because they're like little bodies of water, and we helped transplant the taro to other pools. And I did not know that you could grow taro dry. I thought you could only grow taro wet, so that was interesting to learn that up here in the mountains you can grow it just straight up in the ground. Well, I just spoke to one of the gardeners, and apparently Ben, who was going to give me a tour of the garden, is off doing something and won't be back for like an hour, so I don't know if the tour of the garden is going to happen, but yeah, you never know. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm here with Mr. Ben. Ben, what is the name of this property?
Aloha! This is the Kulaniapia Community Project. We are an off-grid sustainable living community built around our farm here, where we grow all kinds of lovely produce, including citrus, bananas, we raise chickens, and we've recently started really focusing on row crops like daikon radish, hakurei turnips, tomatoes, all kinds of brassicas like Brussels sprouts and cauliflower and broccoli. We got all kinds of goodies here.
That's awesome.
That's
like a wide variety.
Yeah, about the widest.
And you just started taking those to farmers markets, yes?
Yeah, we started at our
in
first
some
farmers market. Yes, sir.
Very nice.
A store called Locavore here on the big island of Hawaii in the town of Hilo.
Very nice. So if you're watching this and you're in the town of Hilo, go check it out for some of this produce.
We got some chickens.
Very nice. So we got chicken coop over there, organics over here, yes?
Yeah, we got all kinds of little goodies sprouting up in here.
So are these microgreens?
No, we don't do any microgreens currently.
Okay.
So what we've got in here are tomatoes. These are sun gold tomatoes. We've got cauliflower, we've got celery, we've got artichokes getting potted up. We do this to prevent rats from doing this to our seedlings.
Oh.
The coolest stuff that we've got in here are these guys right here. These are little baby koa trees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we've got 6 of those currently. I've been collecting seeds from the local koa forests to grow, and yeah, we've got some cacao down there.
Very nice.
And that's pretty much what's going on in here.
Awesome. So this is the taro, and I was talking to you earlier about this, and I didn't know that you could grow it in the ground, not wet, right?
Yeah,
so this is dry taro.
There's dry taro and there's wet taro. So they grow it in ponds. That's a different variety. This one is dryland taro, also known as kolo in Hawaiian. And every part of that plant is edible. The stems, the leaves, but you have to process it, cook it, because otherwise it'll give you a nasty rash.
Wow. And these are bananas, yes?
Yeah, bananas are actually a type of grass.
Ah.
Yeah, so they're related to like palm trees and the grass under our feet. They grow like grass too. So they sprout up real quick like.
Very cool. So that's about it over here, yeah? And then we got the farm over there?
Yeah, there's like some cacao trees over there, but
very nice.
They're not doing much right now.
Say hello. Very nice. Okay. Very nice. If you don't mind my asking, what got you into farming and gardening? Like what was the initial catalyst that got you interested?
It's what I love to do. I grew up gardening with my mom, you know, from the time I was a little wee tyke. Just going around planting things with her, and fell in love with it back then. Have been gardening ever since, became a farmer when the pandemic hit. Decided, hey, life sucks right now, might as well do something I love.
That's awesome.
So have been doing it ever since.
Becoming self-sustainable,
yeah.
Growing your own food.
And we've got our demonstration orchard in through here where we've got Ceylon cinnamon, lime, loquats, cassia cinnamon, avocados, mountain apples, lychee, sour sop, cloves, sweet sop, all kinds of stuff, but nothing in any large quantities.
Solid.
Yeah. The weed mat down, I've transitioned away from the weed mat because this stuff has habit of getting buried in both dirt and weeds. The weeds grow through it, and it's plastic. I don't like it.
Yep.
So we've transitioned to dirt pathways like this.
Very nice.
And we just kill the weeds with hose.
Right.
Pretty simple. And yeah, we're in the process of going from more like food forest, small scale ad hoc plantings to more, not monocropping, but focusing on a single crop in a single bed. So
For sure.
out there we've got 100-foot standardized beds, 30-inch bed tops, 18-inch pathways, and we're starting to grow a lot of food. We're expanding pretty quickly here.
That's awesome. And I am fully supportive of moving away from that because my garden back home, I put all of that down and now the weeds are growing through it. It's all just tangled up, and before I rototill it, I got to yank it all out and get it out of there. It's been a nightmare.
Let me show you a little bit of our nightmare
that
we're dealing with here. Some folks who were presumably farming, gardening here, like who knows how many years ago, put down just swaths.
Oh no.
Weed mat over here. So this shit right here is all weed mat that got overgrown with about 6 feet tall weeds. Right over the top of it.
No.
And now it's got dirt mixed in with it and weeds, and we're gonna have to get this stuff out of here before we can kill and start planting here. So don't use weed mat.
No, anti-weed mat. That is a mess. Damn, how are you gonna, like, you just take this stuff off to the dump? Or are you trying to burn it, or?
Yeah, hopefully we can keep all of the grass and let it decompose and make some really nutritious soil for us and get the plastic out of there. Plastic is gonna go to the dump.
Nice.
That's all it's good for.
Assuming that the soil, being volcanic soil, is super rich and nutrient full here.
Yeah, it is.
Unlike the farm soil back on the mainland that's been stripped of its nutrients for so many years that they gotta, you know, spray all kinds of stuff on it to get the plants to grow. So I'm assuming this soil is really great soil.
It's generally pretty good. However, everything in this area that we're in, the Pueomauka, used to be sugarcane plantation. And that was pretty extractive of the soil, a lot of soil erosion. So soil has been able to rebuild a bit since then, but we're still in the process of coaxing it back to a healthy status.
Nice, very nice. And then those sunflowers over there, I want to get some close-ups of the sunflowers.
Let's do it.
So now these are your sunflowers, yes?
Yeah.
And I recall you're rather passionate about your sunflowers.
I am. They are my favorite flower because each of these is actually a little flower within the main flower head, and we're growing these for these beautiful seeds right here.
Wow.
This is what we want.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna eat these, we're gonna feed them to our chickens. It's gonna be good stuff.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
So this is our milkweed monarch patch. We grow milkweed, tropical milkweed, specifically to attract the monarch butterflies, which are all around us right now. Usually about 10 of them hanging out here. And they lay their eggs on the bottoms of these leaves here. And then their caterpillars hatch, here's a caterpillar right here, eat the very toxic milkweed, and then absorb those toxins to use as a defense mechanism. So there's a little guy right here, monarch butterfly, caterpillar. Look at him twitching his butt as a defense mechanism right there. It's like, I'll get you, I'll get you.
Leave me alone on my leaf. That's awesome. And this little pineapple right here?
Yeah, that's the first pineapple that we got growing here on the farm. That's harvested pineapple top. So we cut the top off the pineapple, ate the pineapple, replanted the top. After about 2 years, it gets to the point where it makes another pineapple.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you for showing me around the farm.
My pleasure.
And the garden. And I hope that the garden thrives and you guys make a lot of progress cleaning that up, and nothing but good stuff moving forward.
That's what it's gonna be. We're gonna grow lots of delicious, healthy produce.
That's awesome. Sweet. So there you have it. That's the farm garden. There's a river and waterfall right over there. I don't know if you can hear it on this mic, but there's a big river waterfall that goes over that way. And yeah, they've got a pretty awesome garden going on. This whole spot is just incredible. This is like, I don't know, I haven't been all over Hilo, but from what I have seen, this is like one of the greatest spots in Hilo, on the Big Island in Hawaii, or Hawaii.
Now this was our last day on Big Island before we flew over to Oahu, and then from there, Eric was flying to Indonesia. So before his flight, he asked me to give him a haircut.
Alrighty. My name is Jack, and And this is haircut. I am haircut.
Now, if you can't tell, Eric's got super thick hair, and he was going to Indonesia for like a month, and it's pretty hot down there. So he was like, why don't we just cut a mohawk into my hair? Now, I tried my best. However, a mohawk I did not accomplish. So we ended up just buzzing all of it, and then later on, while Eric was in Indo, he got them to bleach his hair. So the final result ended up looking pretty sweet, in my opinion. However, before we flew over to Oahu, we had to get one more surf session in on the Big Island. So here's the last surf session on Big Island before flying over to Oahu. And that's all from Big Island. Next stop, Oahu.